This is going to be kind of a longer video. I will be getting a microphone soon. I finally ordered a mic, so that's exciting. Funny enough, I had most of this all set up and ready to go. Go and check Joseph's Reserves, Rare Coins and Precious Metals for new videos, the last two. I recommend watching these videos. He covers what I'm about to talk about very well and very simply. Honestly, I'm probably going to overcomplicate this with this big mess of things you see in front of you. You should probably just go check out Joseph's Reserves, Rare Coins and Precious Metals and give him a subscription. But anyway, 2 days ago, he posted a video, American Silver Eagles Explained, Bullion Proof, Reverse Proof, Burnished, and Privy marks. And then yesterday, he posted Building a Silver Stack, Privately Minted and Sovereign Silver. These two videos cover what I'm about to go over very well and in very simple terms that I feel like anyone could understand, and I highly recommend checking out these two videos on Joseph's Reserves, Rare Coins and Precious Metals. This is my own perception, this is my own perspective, it's my own strategy. Everything to the left of this peacock bar from Scottsdale, 4.9's fine, all the way down these rounds, the 2-ounce Aztec calendar, all the way down to this Memento Mori round. Everything to the left of here is generic bullion, generic silver. Privately minted generic silver. Everything from the constitutional over, so everything from the quote-unquote junk silver, everything from there over is numismatic, sovereign-backed coinage. And this is what I thought Joseph went over in his video very well. Coins like this are sovereign coins. They're a kind of gray area, and that gray area is they are privately minted, approved, and backed by the country. So this makes up a strange middle ground between your generic bullion and your numismatic coinage. And why? Because it's privately minted, like the generic bullion, like the generic rounds and bars, it's minted at a private facility. This is Pressburg Mint, I believe, that minted these for a public. There is something very reliable to numismatics. I wanted to break this up into what I'm going to call the 3 sovereign values. That's what I always call it, the 3 sovereign values. That is stackability, collectability, and holdability. The reason I focus on bullion coinage, what is circulation strike / bullion strike coinage? Why is that what I grab when I'm just dollar cost averaging? Because stackability, collectability, and holdability. Those words are the same words, but slightly different. So they imply a spectrum of preservability. What makes bullion, generic bullion, bars and rounds, and constitutional silver probably the most commonly stacked silver? Most people, at the end of the day, just want the most weight of silver that they can afford. That's an investing mindset. It's not a bad mindset. But does this have quite the holdability of other types of silver? Does this have quite, even though it probably has the highest level of stackability, both your generic bullion rounds and bars and your constitutional silver, these two things probably have the highest stackability, but do they have the holdability of a numismatic coin? Not quite. Do they have the collectability of a numismatic coin? Definitely not. So you see, this is a spectrum. These, being in the middle, kind of represent your holdability the most. They're not quite collectible. To be honest, your collectibles are probably more holdable. They might be the most holdable and stackable of all. But if you're stacking a lot, if you're dollar cost averaging, you might, and if you plan to be stacking for future trade-ins or something like that, you might want to be stacking buffalo rounds. I've been dipping more into the numismatic sort of field lately, beyond just bullion strike coins. A bullion strike coin is a circulation strike coin or a business strike coin, because they're coins meant for business or circulation. But they're now known as bullion strike very often because they're not meant for circulation. What are these meant for? Are they meant to ding around in your pocket with quarters? No. Struck like this with no privy mark, no mint mark, privy mark, anything like that, you're just looking at your weight in silver in value. That is, if it's not a key date that like gives it some numismatic quality, it's really just, I hate to say it, equal almost to something like a generic round or bar. The Royal Mint, I guess, produces these, and Germania designed them, or the other way around. I'm not sure. They're not numismatic, but being backed by the Royal Mint makes them sure feel like something numismatic. And I do think I would get near spot for it, or I would at least demand near spot for it. Back here we have some Germania Mint cast bars. Very nice. Here's one to showcase. They are wrapped in a cellophane. So, base metals, or 90%, is considered circulation strike. It's the very same strike as bullion strike, which is not intended to be in circulation and ding around in your pocket with other coins. It would get far too scratched up. But because it is circulation, business, bullion strike, it's also not meant to be really even capsuled like this. It's meant to be stuck in a tube and stacked for later as an investment in silver. That's why these government mints started selling coins like this. I have these brilliant uncirculated dimes, all 61s. They're almost too brilliant uncirculated. Very nice. This would be business strike, but they're meant for circulation, being 90% silver. These pandas that I've just received shouldn't really be considered highly numismatic. I'm very pleased that they came in these graded slabs. But to consider them highly numismatic would be kind of foolish, because I'm pretty sure they are struck like any old panda. Is it different than another panda? Not really. You know, does the slab really add that much value to it? Is it not just an investment coin anyway? A collectible in the sense of a gold coin with a year, with a date from a country. And I really appreciate receiving this from Monument Metals. They didn't even advertise it as graded and slabbed. I was so excited to get these out of the bag and see that they were in slabs. But all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I don't really consider these highly numismatic pieces. It's a common year, gold sovereign coin, MS69, which they most are straight out of the mint. MS69 is pretty common straight out of the mint. So it's really just it's a matter of opinion. I'm going to keep them in the slabs. I really appreciate the slabs, but at the end of the day, it's not quite as numismatic as like a proof eagle or a commemorative, well, that too, a commemorative quarter, a commemorative buffalo coin. And it's really apples to oranges because I am talking gold versus silver here, but I still consider this almost more of a collectively numismatic piece than that 2013 graded Panda. And I wouldn't go get this graded or something. That's kind of silly. Can you even get one of these 3/9 fine quarters graded? I'm not sure. I wouldn't try it. Yeah, I consider this pretty much just as numismatically collectible as the 2013 Pandas in slabs. I don't know why. That's probably stupid. It's apples to oranges, and I'm not that educated. But there isn't anything about these besides the slabs that make them more valuable than, say, this 20th. It's a 0.05 of an ounce. A 20th of an ounce. But I mean, yeah, a slab would probably make this worth more, especially since it's much older, probably less common. I'm not sure if it's less common than 2013 tenths, but it's probably less commonly traded, at least right now, than 2013s. And yeah, I would honestly rather have this in a slab than the 2013 tenths, but I'm not complaining at all. I'm very happy that they came in slabs. But it's just a matter of, are they a rare date? Is 2013 a rare date gold Panda? Not really. Is MS69 that impressive for a gold sovereign coin that's modern? Not really. So they're worth what the weight they are in gold. But hopefully those slabs will someday appreciate. In a very roundabout, scattered way, gone over different forms of silver, such as bars and rounds, generic, privately minted, onto privately minted coins, backed by a sovereign country, produced by a private mint, onto numismatic sovereign coins, minted by a government, including bullion strike, uncirculated sovereign coins. Numismatic including all of this, even this bar from Perth Mint. Oddly enough, it's a coin bar. I don't know how collectible this will be in the future, more than just like a bullion coin. But I do think it's very cool. I don't know what to think about this. The Gullenbursty says 5 marks. 5 marks. 5 mark. And it's meant to represent something, yes, but it's also not. It's not really a sovereign currency or anything like that. It's kind of just a commemorative thing. And so, I don't know how they get away with it, but, kudos to them. That's pretty cool, really. There is no date on it. That is one thing. Oh, 2025. Germania. It's like a coin. It's so strange. I don't know what to make of those. If I'm making a purchase, I'm going and looking at dollar cost averaging, right? Do I always want to be putting my dollar cost averaging into one piece of a highly collectible numismatic? Or do I want to get 2 or 3 pieces of highly stackable generic bullion, maybe? Well, that all depends on the time and place, I suppose. What seems like the better deal? This should imply that when I see sovereign coins $2 or less higher than generic silver, I'm grabbing the sovereign coins. If I see a collectible part of a series or a numismatic thing like that for near the price of generic, I'm definitely grabbing the collectible piece For gold, I never really buy generic. I did at first, but I got away from it very quickly. For gold, I really feel better getting sovereign pieces no matter what. If you're spending that much money, you may as well. It would seem crazy to me to spend that much money and get something with Mickey Mouse on it. Something that could increase the stackability or the holdability or even the collectability of something is its beauty, its uniqueness. That's why proof goes better than burnished. That's why burnished coins generally don't sell for as high as proof coins. The beauty of something does affect its stackability, collectability, and holdability. Because if it's personal to you, if you feel some connection to it, like I have developed a connection to this very generic, unlimited, probably still be minted in 1,000 years from now. Don't tread on me, give me liberty or give me death. Silver 999 fine USA. 1 troy ounce. I feel a personal connection to this round. It's my pocket dinger. Look at it. It's all dinged up. It's my OG pocket dinger. I feel a personal connection to it. The holdability of this generic round is just as strong to me as the holdability of this Proof Eagle. I would probably sell the Proof Eagle first, because this was one of my first rounds. The stackability, the collectability of it isn't really more than any other type. But you see it falls in this weird middle ground of holdability, where, no, it doesn't have some extreme value. It just has the value of its silver weight. But will I sell it first? No. It's something that I will be inclined to hold. They all kind of fall under preservability, because what are we doing here? Preserving wealth in the form of precious metals. So that's why your general stacker goes for your generic bullion. General stackers go for generic bullion, and they're smart too, because they're wanting to just get the lowest priced, highest weight possible. Many of them buy constitutional 90%. It's also cheap for the silver weight that's in it. It doesn't carry a numismatic premium of collectability because it's usually worn down and highly circulated. There's no special collectability there. I want to be increasing my holdings. I want to be getting things that I'm inclined to hold longer if possible. Things that have the perception of collectability, holdability, and stackability. All of this has that perception as precious metals, but some things have more collectability to them, such as rare date or specially struck like proof, burnished, reverse proof. These all have special collectability to them. That's why I say these graded slabs don't really add much to these Panda 1/10ths, because I don't think there's anything that makes a 2013 1/10th Panda specially collectible. Like this 2016, it's minted in a circulation strike. Bullion strike, business strike. The same minting process they use for coins that ding around in our pockets. So it fulfills this weird middle ground of things that you fill tubes with, even this, because it's not minted by a government mint. It's minted where rounds and bars are minted. My meat and bones from now on is going to be kangaroos, maples, whether they're off quality, random date, current date. The meat and bones of my dollar cost averaging is going to be 4/9 fine, bullion strike, sovereign coins. Perth Mint or Royal Canadian Mint. If I can find other 4/9 fine sovereign coins, I might grab those. But from now on, that's going to be my dollar cost average. Before I wrap up, a little treat here for the real silver bugs out there. That was satisfying. one more thing. I have this scratched Guinea 1/10 with a pretty good scratch in it. You see that? We call that a score, and not in the good way. It's got a pretty good little score scratch right along next to the shield. I'm not trying to just shove it off on anybody, but I think I'll do a little contest, a little game, and see who can guess the fake, because I have a fake to show off. An eBay fake. And if someone can guess the fake, if we can figure it out, I'm not making any promises, but if we can figure out the logistics, I'm thinking this little Guinea 1/10, this little dime piece Guinea, could be the prize for the Spot the Fake, the game of Spot the Fake. One more little treat before I go. What is that? Okay. So yeah, when making a purchase, when deciding what to get and what's worth what, and the purpose for why you're getting it, and what will tie you to it, and what will keep you holding it. These are just some long-winded thoughts. It's been an hour now. This is Sovereign and Specie. None of this is investing, financial advice. None of this is medical, legal, or marriage advice.